Tell us about this judge and just how ridiculous it is, as a legal expert as you are, how ridiculous it is that this judge did not recuse herself.
Well, it's pretty egregious. It's actually a reversible error. This judge is a Democrat donor who was picked by the Democrat governor of Colorado back in August of 2022 to start serving as a judge in January of 2023. 2 months after she's the judge designee, she makes this donation you described to this anti-Trump January 6th group. And now here we are. She's sitting, holding a trial this week to try to figure out if she's going to be the first judge in America to throw President Trump off the ballot for January 6th. And I would say, based upon her track record so far in this case, where she has rejected every one of Trump's legal arguments, we are well on our way to having this Democrat judge disqualify Trump in Colorado.
I won't be surprised when it happens. And you know what? The irony is that if they do that, they are just asking for it, because, I mean, his supporters in other states are going to come out and vote even harder. When they start throwing him off ballots, when it gets that ridiculous, they're going to stir up something they never expected. And at the end of the day, it's Colorado, which probably going to go to Biden anyways. A great moment at the hearing yesterday. Eric Swalwell testified against Trump. He's also suing, claiming personal injury over January 6th. That's how skeezy Swalwell is. He has whined in the past that during Trump's J6 speech, he told supporters to fight like hell, which is a common phrase used in politics. But he says it's somehow akin to calling for violence, despite he had to ignore the fact that Trump actually said to march peacefully and patriotically. Trump's attorney confronted Swalwell with his own words today in court. Take a look.
We have to fight like our lives depend on it, because clearly they do. You wrote that, right?
Yes, I did.
And you were not calling for any sort of a physical fight, correct?
No, sir.
Fight like your lives depend on it, because they do, right?
It says hashtag vote blue, yes.
Yeah. And again, you were not calling for physical violence. That was a metaphorical fight, right?
Oops, Eric. What'd you think of that?
Well, I would say first, thank God he testified remotely, so we didn't have to bring our gas masks to the courtroom yesterday. But I would say the Democrats rolled out an expert today who made a very interesting argument that when President Trump says fight, it's bad. When President Biden says fight, it's okay. It's just ridiculous, this whole thing, this evidence that they're putting on, these witnesses that they're putting on. These are political operatives. These are political plaintiffs. This is a political judge. This is all political nonsense.
You know, it was so funny watching I think it was 60 Minutes with Kamala on Sunday, and they're asking her, like, how on earth are you and Trump tied? You know, this obviously liberal reporter just can't believe it. He's just stupefied by this. How are you not 30 points ahead? And the answer is because of how they're behaving. A, how they're running the country, and B, how clear they're making it that they are willing to use any radical authoritarian tactic necessary to win an election. And then they sit there and scream about freedom and democracy all the time. The reason they scream democracy all the time is because they're so insecure and guilt-ridden about the way they're behaving. And that's how they're trying to throw you the other way. It's all just insecurity. They say it all the time because they're playing the exact opposite way. Mike Davis, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you.